So I had all these dreams, Jody, right? When you first get married, you have all these dreams. And of course, because of circumstances, the dreams went a little to the wayside and I just pivoted. I adapted. I said, okay, I got this. I'm going to do the best job I can. I lived in hospitals, a lot of doctors I saw, but the one thing that was totally in my life every day was we as a family, we laughed. We
Mm,
made fun of what was going on, the doctor's appointments, and that's how both my boys grew up. Like they didn't, adversity was not something that they feared. And to this day, they're like that. So when I turned 40, the kids were older, and I thought, you know what? I'm gonna start doing things for myself. So I made like a bucket list.
Hi, and welcome to Beyond Empty Nest. I'm your host, Jody Silverman, speaker, mentor, and Chief Dare Officer at Moms Who Dare. Every Thursday, I'll share stories of midlife transformation, happiness tips, and dare you to see the opportunities waiting for you so that you can make this next chapter even better than the last. If you're ready to dare, I'm ready to dare with you. Let's get into today's episode. Welcome back to Beyond Empty Nest, everyone. Now, if you've ever found yourself wondering, who am I beyond being a mom? This is the episode for you. As our kids grow and gain independence, we're given the opportunity and sometimes a challenge to redefine ourselves. Today, we're diving into what it means to step into new roles, rediscover passions, and embrace the next chapter of life with confidence because you are so much more than just mom. We're going to talk about it with one of my favorite people, Kathy Chlan, who is the unfiltered lifestyle expert who looks at her every day with positivity and never shies away from a challenge. With a passion for all things fabulous and flair, for infusing joy into every moment, Kathy is your go-to guide for a lifestyle that's as delightful as it is dynamic. Kathy, welcome to Beyond Empty Nest.
Hi, Jody. Hi, honey. How are you?
I'm great. I just have to make a comment about your bio because, in the
Okay.
world of business and entrepreneurship, we have bios. Your bio is perfect. It
Aw,
literally
thanks.
it encapsulates who you are. You are optimistic and joyful and
Aw,
fun and fabulous and all that. So I love that.
thank you so much.
Yeah, I love. That's why we connected right away when I
We
first met
did. We
many years ago.
bonded.
We
We
did.
like each other,
Oh,
which is great for women, right? You want that.
yes. Well,
You want women to like
that's a
each
whole
other.
conversation, but when I
I
met
know.
you, and we'll give a shout out to our girl Sheldon, we met at
Yes.
Chicken Bartlett Rumor from This Is It TV Network, her
Mhm.
Scream Your Dream, This Is It conference in
Yes.
Manayunk, Pennsylvania, many years ago,
Many moons
many
ago.
moons ago. And you know what? There's not one woman I met at that conference that wasn't just real, authentic, and
hmm
open to
Yep.
lifting each other up. So
Yes.
it's,
Because you know why, Jody? I think you realize you walked into that room and there's enough space for everybody.
there is.
There's no jealousy, there's no, backstabbing. It's just a great
Yeah.
room to be in. I agree.
Yeah,
And I
lady.
thought you were
Yeah.
cool as hell. So,
Well, when you have it, you have it. I'm just saying. But and for those of you listening, you're going to have to come and watch the video of this because we're so much fun to look at when we talk to each other. We're laughing, and if we have to say so ourselves. But this isn't middle school. This is midlife.
yes,
Midlife is so beyond middle school. It's time,
beyond.
and I am only surrounded by women who lift me up and cheer me
hmm
on and make space for me, and
hmm
I do the same for them. So if you are out there and that is not who you're surrounded with, you're in the
Get
wrong
a new
place.
tribe.
New tribe. Reach out to Kathy, find the Moms Who Dare on Facebook for me, and
hmm
join us because we are ready to embrace you. The doors are open for anyone
Yep.
who's looking to expand. So let's talk about that.
Okay.
We're going to talk about that, it's time to admit, step into, and realize that
hmm
you are more than just the title of mom. And
Definitely.
it's easier to say it than it is to figure out, okay, well, then if I'm not a mom,
What the hell am I?
and how do I figure it out? So before we dive into
Mhm.
that, why don't you share a little bit about you as a mom
Okay.
and what it is that you're doing now? And then Kathy's going to share like really great actionable steps that you can start trying to figure it out. And it's okay if it takes time, as long as you're moving towards doing something, and we'll help.
hmm
So,
So, Jody, I got married to my brother's best friend. I was 25. Got pregnant on my honeymoon. My first child, Casey, was born with a lot of medical problems, and he's what they labeled back then developmentally disabled, special needs. And then I had a son 3 years later. So I had all these dreams, Jody, right? When you're first get married, you have all these dreams. And of course, because of circumstances, the dreams went a little to the wayside and I just pivoted. I adapted. I said, okay, I got this. I'm going to do the best job I can. I lived in hospitals, a lot of doctors I saw, but the one thing that was totally in my life every day was we as a family, we laughed. We
mm,
made fun of what was going on, the doctor's appointments, and that's how both my boys grew up. Like they didn't, adversity was not something that they feared. And to this day, they're like that. So when I turned 40, the kids were older, and I thought, you know what? I'm gonna start doing things for myself. So I made like a bucket list. And the first thing on the bucket list was I wanted to take acting classes in New York City.
ooh,
So guess what?
daring.
I did it. And my teacher was Richard Klein from the show Three's Company. He played Larry.
Yes.
It was incredible. I did it for 2 years. I would go on a Thursday. It was 12 o'clock to 4 o'clock. And then I'd go out with the class and have a drink. I felt like normal. I felt like I found a piece of myself that I had put in a box
Oh,
until it was the right time to pull out and start putting back together.
I like that.
And
I like how you said,
okay.
I found a piece of myself. I
hmm
like that because we can get so absorbed in our role as mom,
Yep.
especially when you have a child who needs so much support from you that, how did you find the permission? Like so many women are like, am I allowed to really do that? Like,
Yes. You know what it is? My two boys, one day at dinner, I don't know, I was like in a bad mood, and both of them at the exact same time said, you got to find something to do.
uh, smart boys. That was code for, can you leave the house so we can get in trouble,
Get the
mom?
hell out. Get the
Right.
hell out. That's
Okay.
what. And my husband is like, yeah, you gotta.
Oh,
So I
so
was like, okay. I did it. Then after the acting class, I took an improv class, a hosting class. I just kept trying to better myself because I always knew. I mean, I'm aging myself with this, Jody. I wanted to be Mary Hart on Entertainment Tonight.
oh,
That was my goal. I was wanted to be her. I would have even started off as a weather girl. I would have done anything. So that dream, of course, got put, but I was like, I still have a lot to say.
yeah.
I still have a ton to say.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? So
I
I
love
just
it.
kept doing that. And I think that's what just keeps me kind of sane. And
Yeah.
like you said, dare. You dare to dream. You dare to do something out of the box.
Well, and that's what you did when you decided that you were going to take an acting class. But I have to go
hmm
back to what you said. I love what you said that laughter is a big part of your
Big
families.
part.
And I love that because I have a signature talk, the 5 dares that will boost your mood and overall well-being. And it is a
hmm
healthy one. And the second dare number 2 is laugh. Find ways to bring laughter into
hmm
your life
That's
every day.
awesome.
It's not about ignoring the serious stuff, but
No,
it's
no.
about allowing yourself not to let the serious stuff completely flatten you, right?
But who says like my mom and dad were so good, but who says, where is it written that you have to take the serious stuff so serious that it alters who you are and it makes you sick because all you're focusing on is the serious stuff. You
You
could
know who's,
always do a little, I mean, you take it serious when need be, but you could put a
yeah,
little spin on it. You know what I mean?
absolutely.
That
I,
takes the edge off, so to speak.
and I think that's also why we connected because I do bring humor into
Yes.
the hardest situations
Mm-hmm.
and because it helps. It just helps.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Who said it? Nobody said it. We worry too. And
Nope.
that's the whole thing before we hit midlife and we
Yes.
stop caring about what other people think and we get rid of all the shoulds in our world.
Yep.
Or we should be serious. And there's a time and a place.
Yes.
Humor is not, but I love how, that you say your family brings laughter, and that's what you do. I mean, you're a comedian, and I mean,
Oh,
you bring laughter
thanks.
to everything I know, and you surround yourself with other people who know how to bring laughter into their life. So I love that and the finding a piece of myself. So it does start with getting
Mm-hmm.
permission. I love how your family saw that you needed it before you saw that you needed it. And
They
sometimes,
did.
yeah, and that's
They
that's
did.
that's awesome because sometimes they don't. Sometimes
Right.
we see it. I like that yours is a reverse where somebody said, you need to get out and do something
Yeah.
for you.
Yes.
That's,
Yes.
the person who inspired me, that
Who?
gave me the word dare as like it's the foundation.
Mm-hmm.
Dare on is my mantra. It's tattooed on
Yes.
my wrist.
Yes.
Is Luann Kahn. Luann Kahn is an 8-time Emmy award-winning broadcast journalist from Philadelphia.
Oh, okay.
She's not in broadcast journalism anymore. She actually teaches at Temple's School of Broadcasting.
Wow.
But when I heard her speak, she wrote a book about how she dared to do something new every day for a year. And the reason she did it was her daughter, just like you, her daughter saw her mother like, who are you? And you're
Are
like
you?
miserable and you're negative and
Yep.
mom, you need to get out and do something new.
Right.
And then she said, get a list. So let's talk about that because you talk about making a list. You said your bucket list, call it a vision
Yep.
board.
Yeah, vision board, bucket list, whatever you call it. I think that is so important for women to do. I think that's more important than keeping a journal, actually. I know a journal is great. I do both, but I think when you see the list, even if you're in a mood for, you look at the list and go, okay, I'm going to accomplish, I'm going to do
Yes.
this. And if you go one at a time, you're not overwhelmed by it. You're not thinking that you're a failure or that could I have done it differently? I mean, I'm trying to live this life, Jody, to have the least possible regrets. I know I'm going to have, everybody has. You
Yeah.
make a shitload of mistakes with your kids, you make a
Yes.
shitload of stuff with everything. But I think as a whole, I don't want to, it's like your story and you only have one book. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
The
no, I love
chapters
that.
are different, but
Yeah.
you have one book, one story. And
Yeah.
we're not guaranteed tomorrow. So you got to go
No.
in and just.
No. Come on, if we haven't learned that lesson by now,
I know. But there's some people that haven't.
I know,
They have,
let's not wait until our tomorrow is today. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't come. So I know you say to start with list, but so before we hit record, because I get the fun part of hanging out with my guests before we hit record.
right,
You have the women out there listening, and they're like,
right.
"That's all I've known is being a mom." They volunteered, and I tell them, you've done more than, and don't ever
Hmm.
say just be a mom because I'm going to tell
Yeah,
you, it's
yeah.
a full-time freaking
It's
job.
a full-time job.
Yeah, and
You want a different title now.
yes, to start figuring that out, what are some like how do you go about starting your list? Like, where would you begin with a list?
I think the best thing is to go deep and think about what scares you.
Mm,
Like, what would make you the most nervous? And even though, like, I know you, I could talk openly, but that first acting class that I went into and got up on stage, I think I peed my pants.
yeah, no,
I
I
had
did.
depends on, Jody. I had depends on because I was like, there is no way I'm going to do this. And every week I just kept putting one foot in front of the other and I just kept doing. Did I suck in the? Absolutely. I never took an acting class in my life. I
Yeah,
sucked.
yeah.
But I think when things scare you, that's what's exciting.
Well, it is.
That,
It's the same. It's the same. endorphin level, not the
Yes.
scared like, oh my God, there's a gun
Yes.
pointed at me or a fire,
Right. No, no.
but the scare that, oh my God, what if I suck? What if I'm not good? I
Right.
felt that way my first improv class.
Yes.
And we had to
Right.
invite our friends and family to come watch our perform. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not 5 years old in my little ballerina outfit. That's okay to. And it was the scariest,
I
scariest.
know.
And yet I did it and I had the best
I did it.
time. And yeah,
Jody, my first one, the first, one I did, Joyce DeWitt from Three's Company was sitting in front of my mother. My mother talked to her the whole
oh
freaking
my
time
gosh.
I was on stage, and I'm having a hot flash.
Oh
And
my God.
she pokes Joyce and she goes, "That's my daughter sweating profusely
Oh
on the
my God.
stage."
Oh my God. Oh my God.
But
Oh.
I did it. I
You did
got
it.
up there and I did it.
All right, so start with asking, like, what if I try? What is something I
Yes.
want to try that when I think about it, it scares me so much I want to maybe
Hmm.
vomit or pee
Right.
myself.
Right.
And start there. What where will you move on from there to make
Um, Things that you like to do. Like I have a friend right now, she loves organic vegetables and all of that stuff. Does not have a green thumb at all. She kills it. Well, she watches YouTubes. She's doing a raised garden. She's
ah,
starting it and she's doing like that kind of stuff. I
hey,
have another one who's never run a day in her life and she's training to run in a marathon.
see?
Scary, pushes you to the limit. I had one friend who um, tried out for Survivor.
Oh, really?
It's you have to sit down. You have to list your things that you think, if it's public speaking, the fear. Then find the passion, one, and then find one that you think you'd be totally good at.
I like that. Fear, passion,
Fear, passion, and one that you know
good.
that you would be good at.
Known. It's the known, the known.
It's
I
the
like
known, right? The three
Yeah, I
pillars.
like that. And you know what? The passion and the known could both be something that you've done in the past that you used to like doing. Like we were just talking in the Moms Who Double Dare, the members, we have a membership.
Yeah.
We were just talking about roller skating.
Oh
We
my
went we went
God.
ice skating pre-pandemic. I couldn't do ice skating again today with my knee, but I could go roller skating.
I know. Rollers, I know.
I'm like, let's go roller skating. I'll put the knee pads in I'll put a whole like bumper suit on me if I have to. But what is some bike riding? I want to ride my
Bike
bike
ride.
more. I want to ride my bike.
Think about when you were a little girl.
Yes.
What were the things that just made you happy?
Yeah.
Like just made you, if you love to color, you remember coloring, take an art class
There you go. I have a
or a
few
sculpture
friends.
class
I have
or
a, I,
something.
I have a few friends who have taken pottery, art,
Yeah.
like pencil drawing. She's one of my best friends. My son is going to be 27. We met when
Okay.
her oldest and my son, who's my youngest, were under 2 years old. And I had
Wow.
never knew that she
That
could
she,
draw.
see,
She showed me her
see
drawings. I'm like, who are you? And when did you have
you.
this talent?
Because she put it in a box
Yeah, because
until
she
you
was an
could open the
attorney and she
box.
was working
Right.
mom and
Right.
now yeah. And here's it. And I'm gonna even go out on a limb and tell you, you're gonna try something, you might not like it. That's okay. Cross it off
Exact.
your
That's
list.
okay. Cross it off the list
Cross it off
and
the
then
list.
add another one. I just think every year, like I try to do it every year. You put maybe 20 things on the list,
I
whatever
love
you
that.
vision board, bucket list. And every year in December, you look at it. If everything is checked off, that is incredible. Because I don't believe that just because we're a certain age, that you need to accept the piece of the puzzle you're at.
No,
You can, you gotta, that's just how you
yeah,
grow as a person. And we still have so much to say
I
and
know.
to
So
live. We have a lot of life.
we do. We do. You're gonna make your dare. I'm gonna call it the dare list. You're gonna make your dare list.
Dare, that's great.
You're gonna make your dare list.
That's what I'm going to start now. I'm going to call it
There's
a dare list.
there's a woman on Instagram. I lost her name because that's just what happens when you're 58. You would know her because she's a comedian. She's funny, and she got a gig warming up the audience for
Robin
Robin.
Channel.
Yes,
Yeah, she's hysterical. She did
Robin.
Man on the Street
Oh my
stuff.
gosh, she's hysterical. But,
Hysterical.
but
She's
Robin,
young though, Jody. She's
but Robin
young.
made a list. She showed the list. It was a chalkboard list or a piece of paper, and it
Yep.
was a scribbled list. I'm like, you don't
Yep.
need a gorgeous vision board.
Nope.
to make your dreams come true. You just need to put it somewhere where you can see it every day. So, like you said,
Every
one
day.
day, so one day you wake up, you look at the list, you're like, you know what? I'm ready to
Yep.
take an improv class. I'm ready.
You don't need a Canva, right? You don't
No,
need to have a Canva account and you
that's
make this
no.
big, beautiful board
Just need a
because
piece of paper and a pen.
exactly.
I love that.
And
Me
that's
too.
what you do. That's a good,
Love
I
that.
mean, perfect. But
I
don't you feel like, I feel like midlife, we're in the best place.
Oh, it is because you don't have to get, it doesn't matter what anybody thinks. You can say what you want to say. You can be silly. And that's what I love about improv. Why
Hmm.
I go towards improv
Yes.
is because there are no mistakes.
Nope.
It's not about me. It's
Nope.
about everybody else on the stage and making the
Yep.
next person look good. So you get out of
Yep.
your head. And it's
Yep.
like a mistake of mistakes. He got my improv are fumbles. Well, who
Right.
doesn't love a fumble? Everybody jumps
Right.
on a fumble.
On a football game.
Yeah, he uses that
You run.
analogy. He's like, nobody
That's
stands.
great.
Yeah, he uses that analogy that mistakes in improv are just fumbles, and whoever recovers it, it's like a good thing.
And mistakes are usually
The
the
funniest.
best
I
thing
know, the
and are the
best.
funniest.
We
I
learn
mean,
from them. We
they're
learn from
classic.
them.
People love watching other people make mistakes. They
Yes.
do.
Yeah.
And that's okay. That's great.
Yeah.
That's and I remember my dad one time I was like, I don't know, after 40, I was older than 40 and I'm like, Dad, I can't believe I'm still trying to find myself. Like I
Yeah.
would have thought he goes, Kathleen, take your hands, reach back, squeeze your ass and you found yourself.
Oh my
He
God. I
goes,
love your dad.
that's what that everybody, he goes, you just have to keep doing what you love.
I love that.
And, you don't have to make a ton of money doing it. Just love what you do.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And if you have, and I say this too a lot, or maybe I don't say it enough. If you have to make the money and have the health insurance
Yes.
that you need,
Yes.
then find that thing on your dare list.
Yes.
When you leave that job, brings you joy
Yes.
because it'll make your job less
Better.
less heavy, less heavy.
Yes.
You won't care as much.
Yes.
Find something you enjoy and make the time to do it. Which
Well, I always say wait, you make money to live. You don't live to make money.
there you go. That's it.
You don't. You
All
don't.
right.
You have to love it.
So I have a question because you
Sure.
started out sharing that one of your sons
Hmm.
is special needs.
Yes.
Is that okay to
Yes.
say? Okay.
Yes,
All right.
absolutely.
Special needs. And he lives at home and he will be living at home with
Yes.
you for
Forever.
forever. So
Yes.
my question is for that mom who is
Hmm.
listening to this, who says,
Right.
yes. So Kathy, how is it possible for me to look outside of myself as anything other than a mom when I have a child, special needs or other, that
Hmm.
is living at home under my roof
Yes.
and will be for the
Ever.
rest of my life forever? How do I possibly look at myself other than that title of mom?
What you do is what got gets me through it. I mean, I
Yes.
have a husband, even single women, you have to take one day for yourself. And any therapist has told me this, anybody. There are so many organizations that you can find somebody like Casey, my son, we could leave alone. Like me and my husband, we have date nights and then if we go away for a week, my son will come stay with him even though he's fine by himself. I have friends that are here. So all that has to be, set up before you can do. So it is a little extra step, but there's organizations that people will come and sit with him, even if it's just 2 hours a
Yeah.
week, where you feel like a woman, a human, even if you go get a friggin' bikini wax,
Yeah.
Jody, it's like
Ah,
get your
what?
nails done. I know her something. Because if you don't do that, there was a time that I didn't do that. And I remember I would look in the mirror and I just felt like my whole life was doctors.
Hmm.
My whole life was doctors and like what they were saying and, worst case scenario. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna let that be a crutch.
Yeah. So a
You
clip. So
have to. You have to physically take one day a week, even if it's 2 hours, whatever. Even if it's, you just go sit up at the beach and look at the water or talk on the phone in the car for an hour with your girlfriend,
Yeah.
just so that you feel like yourself. You can't lose yourself.
I
You
love it.
can't lose
Wait
yourself.
And you know what, in today's world with Google,
Hmm.
you can Google, specific Google like support for this situation
Yep.
in Montgomery County,
Care.com
Pennsylvania.
is, yes, care.com is great. And
Care.com.
yeah, and then if you have DDS, you work with DDS, they have organizations that will tell you.
And talk to
There's
your
just,
doctors. Talk to
yes,
Yes. There's
absolutely.
so many resources today that you don't have to do it alone. So I love that. Thank you for sharing that because I know
But I
that.
think the moms, Jody, sorry to interrupt. I
No,
think
go.
they think that that's all who they are, and they think that that's okay. It is okay. It's a big part of your life, but you could go country line dancing on a Wednesday night with girls and be the most popular girl on the dance floor in your cowboy boots without anybody knowing that you have
Yeah.
somebody at home.
You could just be you for
Yes,
whether it's two
yes,
hours or not. Just
yes.
be
Be
vibrant,
you.
be you, just be
Yep,
you. And that's
just be you.
important. It's important
Yes,
because
absolutely.
because then you're going to come back, you're going to be rested, you're going to be rejuvenated, you're going to feel better. There's a myriad of reasons why to do it.
Oh,
So,
even with children that aren't special needs, this is what
no, yes,
any
absolutely.
mom, any mom.
We're giving Kathy and Jody are giving you permission to
Yes,
figure out how to take a minimum of 2 hours
a week.
a week, a minimum of 2 hours a week. We want you to inch your way up to a full day. A full day
Oh,
is 6 to 8 hours, ladies. That's a full day. So,
yes.
we want you to dare yourself to do that. So we're giving
Dare.
you permission. We're giving you the permission.
Permission. You have to,
Yeah. But
right?
people are going to love this. This is a fun, I
Aw.
think it's going to be fun. You're high energy, it's positive, and I like it because we have stuff. You have stuff.
Hmm.
I have stuff.
Yep.
Everybody has stuff.
Everybody has their
So we're
shit.
not sitting here telling you
Nope.
don't have stuff. It's not hard. And yet you can sit to bring in the number one tenet of improv. Yes, but,
Yep.
or yes, and.
And yep.
So you're going to be
Perfect, Jody.
really, that just came to me. There you go.
Ah, there you go.
You're not going to sit here listening to this episode saying, yes, but Kathy, yes, but Jody,
Yes,
yes,
yep.
but you don't.
Nope.
No, you're going to turn off, rewind, go back to the beginning, and everything we say, yes. And
And
wonder how I could do that. Yes, and I wonder where my pencil and paper is to start my list. Become a yes and person.
I mean, high school kids would probably come and help somebody with a special needs child,
Oh, yeah.
babysit that can go on their college. There's so many opportunities. I think women were always putting everybody else first.
Yeah.
And I think that we need to pivot,
Yeah.
and especially in this time in our life, Jody.
We do. We do. All right. So now we gave a lot of dares, but we do end with a single dare. We end with a single dare. There's a lot of things that you could accept as your dare during this episode. Pick whatever you want, but we're going to leave you with one single dare because we don't want you to get lost in the muck of everything. We don't want you to get so overwhelmed that you're like, you don't do anything. So what
Anything.
the first dare?
Okay. I think that you get a group of your friends, whether it's 4 or 5, and you sign up for an improv class and do it together.
Mm, Okay.
Do
What?
First off, I think the tribe as women, the friends group will probably get stronger. You know what I mean? Like
Oh,
you'll
yeah.
know people's flaws and you've taken, and I think it would be so hysterical and you leave everything on the stage.
And it is so much fun. It's the word itself is scarier than the actual fun. So
Right.
that is an amazing dare. I've never dared anyone to specifically to grab some friends,
Yep.
find the local improv group or
Theaters have
something
them.
theater,
Right.
and ask them if you could do a private class for your group.
Yes.
And here's what I am going to share out there right now. I live outside of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Right.
I have an improv instructor.
Mm-hmm.
If I get enough women,
Right.
I can organize a class. So if you're listening and you live
Yep.
near anywhere near traveling to Bucks County, Pennsylvania, that's where
Mm-hmm.
we'll have it. I will commit to putting together an improv class this spring
Perfect.
and or summer. I did it a year and a half ago, and five of us went. And I want to
Hysterical,
share,
right?
to your case in point, one of the women had just had a major loss in her life.
Right. Oh,
I
I'm
said,
sorry
just
to hear.
come, have fun. You can sit and watch. You don't have to do anything, but I'm telling you, come. She trusted me. She went. I captured a picture of her laughing. First
So
time
hard.
she laughed like that in
Mm-hmm.
months.
Yep.
And she said she was grateful for it. So if anybody there lives close to Bucks County, Pennsylvania, you're gonna message me, email
Yep.
me. I'll put my email in the link in the comments in the show notes below.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to find an improv class and you're not local to me, reach out to Kathy.
Yeah, Jersey, Monmouth County, Count Basie Theater in Red Bank, and Two Rivers Theater. A lot of your local theaters, the
So
colleges,
yeah,
and
the
the price of classes aren't that bad.
no, not at
So
all. No, I
no,
love
not at
that.
all.
We'll put contact information for Kathy
Yeah.
in the show notes below. And yeah, it's a great dare, definitely. And if you do go to an improv class, I want you to take a picture of your group,
Yes.
share it with me. I'm
Perfect.
going to share it with Kathy. We're going to post it all over social media, celebrating you
Yep.
so hard. We're gonna be shouting you out. So I love that. Kathy, is there anything you want to know?
Aw.
Where can people find you, follow you, fan with, love you? Because you are out there. You are so funny.
Oh,
You're
thanks,
gonna have a
Sonny.
show soon. There's so much happening. But right now, where can people find you?
Everything on social media, the TikTok, I call it TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, everything's unfiltered Kathy. Easy peasy.
Unfiltered Kathy. And the links will
Kathy.
be in the show notes below. So,
Thanks,
Kathy, thank you for
Joe.
being part of
I
Beyond.
love you lots.
This is so much
Bye.
fun. All right,
I know.
everybody. Don't forget next week, there's going to be a brand new episode of Beyond Empty Nest. Thanks for being part of our audience and dare on. If you've enjoyed today's episode of Beyond Empty Nest, head over to jodiesilverman.com for full show notes and other fun resources. Are you ready to clean up your self-talk and reconnect with your midlife purpose? Negative self-talk can hold you back from the confidence, happiness, and relationships you deserve. That's why I created the Self-Talk Cleanup free 7-day mini challenge. In just 5 minutes a day, you'll grow your confidence, boost your happiness, and build resilience to take on life's challenges. Isn't it time to rewrite the story in your head? Well, if you're ready, click the link in the show notes below and join the challenge now. Dare on.